Hi, I'm your host Vasco Duarte. Welcome to the Scrum Master Toolbox podcast, where we share tips and tricks from Scrum Masters around the world. Every day, we bring you inspiring answers to important questions that all Scrum Masters face day after day. Hello, everybody. Welcome to our Success Thursday this week with Samet Ulutas. Hey, Samet, welcome back.
Hi, Vasco. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you for asking. How about yourself? How's life in Istanbul?
It's great. It's rainy today, but it's great. Thank you.
What's the winter temperature there? How cold does it get?
Not cold than 0 Celsius degree. Generally warmer than 0. So it's great to live here.
Yeah, so around 30 to 40 Fahrenheit. So 0 to, I guess it's 0
So,
to 8, 0 to 9 degrees.
some sort of it. Yeah.
Yeah. So let's dive into the success question. And first, as we always do here on the Thursday, we ask you about your favorite retrospective format. So tell us what your favorite format is and why.
There is a website called retromat.org. I already explained it in previous days. I use its approach, which has 5 levels of retrospective. Warming up people first, second, gathering data, the third one, detailing the data, the fourth one, creation action plans, and finally, closing the retro. As warming up, I generally ask people make role playing for each other and ask them to tell the last sprint with others' eyes. That helps people to know each other better and increase the empathy. Later on, I choose one of the standard techniques and run the retrospective. Of course, the dynamics of the team and also the things happened in the last sprint are important to make the type of the retrospective decision. However, my favorite is start, stop, keep technique. In this technique, I give some time for each team member to think and write their own words in terms of start, stop, keep, and then open the cards simultaneously, group them, and then vote to find the most critical issue to talk. Start means we want to do some good things. We tend to do that, but we never had a chance to do that. This time we should start to do that. You can think like starting appreciation culture between team members. Stop means we shouldn't have done this kind of things, but once in a hurry, we did that, which caused us to be slow in the next time. You can think creating technical debt here. And finally, keep means we did something in a great way. We should be aware of it and we should keep doing it. After voting the group topics, we address at least one issue and create at least one action plan for that. Then we try to address a volunteer team member to take action for that. Then if we have some more time, we continue for the next issue. If not, then I continue with the closing retro part. I ask each team member to thank one of them for any solid reason. Finally, I complete the session with a high energy.
Yeah, absolutely. And thanking people, the appreciation exercise can be also in itself a great energy booster for the retro. You talked about role playing, and I really like that idea of having the team members talk about what others saw, right? Like you said, increases empathy. And I think that's a very practical way to actually teach people what empathy is all about, right? Because the empathy is about seeing the world from somebody else's eyes. It's understanding that there's a different perspective and there's different motivations and there's different reasons. And of course, there's different interpretations for what happens. And it really trains people's empathy cells to describe the sprint from another team member's perspective. That's a great warm up for sure. And we can always do a lot of jokes like that, right?
Yes.
All right. So next is, of course, the success question, one of the most important questions here on the week of the podcast, because it's a question that drives how we improve ourselves as Scrum Masters. And of course, that's the success question we are talking about. So Samet, share with us, what does success as a Scrum Master mean for you, and how do you try to get there?
Thank you for the question, Vasco. For me, as Scrum Master, there are certain things to measure the success, such as increasing the average motivation of team members, increase the team velocity, and increase the satisfaction of stakeholders. I do regular interviews with each team members and stakeholders to see the current satisfaction level. From the point of agile team members, it's important that everyone feels comfortable to share any problems, even failures, in front of the team. If I could help them to feel in that way, I call myself very successful. From the stakeholder point of view, it's important that they are all aligned and happy to work with my team. How can we achieve that? Of course, with prioritizing the right work according to the total value of it transparently. It is one step to be successful, but it is not enough. Once we prioritize the work according to their value, we should complete them in the committed time box with a committed definition of done quality. The stakeholders don't care about the team dynamics. They care about the reasons of problems, results of the works. Therefore, we need to be clear about the problems we face in the way, and we need to meet the expectations with the hard and synchronized work in the team. Moreover, I watch the metrics of the team and try to see the positive trends of the throughput rates and team velocity in the long term. The last thing is we as Scrum Masters designed a tool called Agile Maturity Assessment Tool, which I mentioned yesterday's podcast. We applied that survey-based tool to the team, which I work with each 6 months and try to see the increase of the maturity levels. There are many questions in the survey, and they assess the team in terms of very different angles, such as team dynamics, communication, and motivation, and so on, anonymously. It gives us a chance to talk on the average results, and we try to create action plans to improve them. In the long term, I can show that the team grows with the help of that tool.
Yeah, absolutely. And surveying the team to keep memory of what the situation was is very important. Of course, we can do that in the retrospective, right? Like the teams can do a self-assessment as an example. But that keeping memory is a very important part, because this is how we improve, right? We look at what is evolving in the team, and we assess the impact of what we do by looking at what we see evolving in the team. Another aspect that you mentioned I would like to highlight is the alignment in stakeholders and also how satisfied they are to work with our team, right? Which indicates, I don't know if you guys are doing it, but indicates that it might be worth to do a survey with stakeholders as well. Do you do surveys with stakeholders?
Yes, we also have another service for them too. We generally apply that once in 6 months too, so we can see the improvement or the results of the satisfaction level. So we really apply that kind of service to each stakeholders.
Absolutely. And that highlights the other part, which is to always be measuring, right? Because as we measure, we understand better, and we also evaluate ourselves, right? And that's very important, because improvement comes from our own efforts, and we can't improve unless we are measuring it and taking action. Great examples. Thank you for sharing that, Samet.
Thank you, Vasco.
Part of a successful Scrum Master job is to help the product owner. Tomorrow we explore that critical role in Scrum, the product owner role. Tune in to learn about product owner anti-patterns, what you can do to help the product owner, and a real-life example of what a great product owner is and what made it so. Tomorrow on our Friday Product Owner episode. See you tomorrow. We really hope you liked our show. And if you did, why not rate this podcast on Stitcher or iTunes? Share this podcast and let other Scrum Masters know about this valuable resource for their work. Remember that sharing is caring.